Well, it's June. It must be time for another Screenwriters Festival launch event. But before we got to BAFTA in the evening, we went to the BBC in the afternoon to see a session put on by the Screenwriters Festival for those lucky screenwriters selected for this year's script market, a new initiative at the Screenwriters Festival this year, which involves having their projects promoted at the festival, but also involved a day of seminars and sessions chaired by Pearson there. Here was Will Machin, Head of Sales at Ealing Studios. You can hear more of his speech at another part on this site. A packed house, then listen to John Croker, Development Tracker, I believe, from the UK Film Council. Everybody listened attentively, apart from one rather rude person who left their mobile phone on. No prizes for guessing who that was, but organising the Screenwriters Festival is a very stressful job, so I suppose he can be forgiven. Other representatives from the BBC were there, and in all this just goes to show the Screenwriters Festival more than just one event in October. It now operates throughout the year. Then moving on, of course, to the main event, the hubbub at BAFTA. Another packed house there. Kevin Loader, of course, chairman of the Screenwriters Festival board. Rob Craik, you can hear more comments from them later on. Olivia Hetreed, stalwart, obviously a very successful screenwriter in her own right. So a bit of mingling, then moving through into the Princess Anne Theatre. I slipped in through the back door to take a look at how everything was coming together. Tube strike on that day, of course, so a very impressive effort to get, I think, about 300 delegates in. Everyone obviously eager to hear some of the big names speaking that day. There's Julian Friedman, of course, 12point.com, and Phil Parker of the world-famous screenwriting beard. Our sponsors, of course, Screen Daily, Screen International, and these many, many others. Where would we be without them? Nowhere, I think, is the answer. So thank you, of course, again to all of them. And, of course, Mobbin Marquees there at the bottom. I never get my marquees from anywhere else. Pearson stepped up to introduce the event, then handed over to Kevin Loader, who seemed rather taken by the poster for Cheltenham Ladies College behind, although I think it was something to do with an analogy between young ladies and screenwriters. Let's have a quick listen to Kevin.
One of the things as a producer which we have to expect that work bubbles up from you guys, from people who are hoping to write screenplays. There's a version of the film industry which is a kind of top-down Stalinist version where, guys sit around in Hollywood and say, okay, we need more of that thing with, transforming cars and machines and stuff. And there's the other version which is, what do people want to write about? What are their concerns? What do they think are the things that are important at the moment? And if you're a producer, you have to somehow combine both those things. You have to combine market trends, what's selling, what public taste is being guided towards, and how that's shaping what gets written and produced, with something that is probably, I think, even more important, which is, what are the people who want to write about? So I always go to the festival in the spirit of humility and openness. I want to hear what people's concerns are, what they think will make films that audiences want to see, what they think are the subjects that will connect them to the community at large, by way of film. And this year I hope there will be many of my colleagues as producers there to share in that enterprise.
After Kevin's introduction, David Pearson then moved on to chair a session with these two script market participants, Tammy Riley-Smith and Emily Lassell, who talked a bit about their projects, their careers, and what they are hoping to get out of the festival. We then had a session with the agents, Rob Craik from AP Watt, talking a bit about the state of the British television industry and the opportunities that are still available for screenwriters, old and new. Matthew Bates there from the Sale Agency, talking about how the number of hours of the bill has been cut in half, but there is work out there. you just got to know where to look for it, and that moved them on to a discussion of the role of agents, how to find an agent, what makes a good agent, which is all very illuminating. And then it was on to the main event, I suppose we must call it. Christopher Hampton, Oscar-winning screenwriter. You can hear his full speech in 3 chunks on this YouTube site on the subject of The Ones That Got Away, an incredibly personal, interesting, insightful look back at Christopher's career. He took questions from the floor and really just showed the kind of personal contact that you get from the Screenwriters Festival. These sorts of insights are invaluable, and one of the main reasons why the festival has proved so popular. The other possible reason why the festival has proved so popular over the years is its après-ski element, and we obviously then moved on into the bar at BAFTA afterwards. Julian Friedman there, Kenny in the middle there, Kenny MacDonald, festival manager, I think, new hairstyle for 2009, and no facial hair anymore, just a shame. Our very own Matt Smith, the new Doctor Who, sort of jetted in through some teleportal of some kind. So very nice to see industry figures recognising the festival. He seemed a little bashful and unwilling to be filmed, but there you go. I had a quick chat with Sarah, asked her what her favourite bit was.
Best to persevere always, and Kenny.
Persevere and ignore Kenny.
So thank you, Kenny, for that. One final glimpse of Doctor Who before he disappeared. Closing on Rob Crate working the room like the master that he is. He even brought along Mrs. Crate for the evening, who gave us her final top tip about what a writer needs to do to succeed.
Pitch really quickly.
So pitching it is, and then the evening came to a sedate close. We look forward to seeing you in October for more of this kind of action.